What's up, dedicated Dragon Ball denizens? I'm Ryan, and we're here for another episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. This time we're going to get into our blue previews. Blue is, I always like to do the previews in like my favorite colors and stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to do blue. We've got Sin/Omega Shenron. I think this is going to be a fun deck. It's one that I will probably be my second deck to build, as probably you could deduce by me doing this one second in the preview. So anyway, we're going to get into each card and, give my quick little opinion on it. Here we go. We've got the first cards, the battle cards that are supporting the leader. So the leader is Sin Shenron / Omega Sin Shenron, right? On the front side, so this one's actually a really cool concept. And another card, I've got the alt up here. Another one where the alt front side looks even better than the other one. So when attacking, draw a card. Awaken can be activated, activate main or battle, right? So when your life is at 6 or less, so 6 or less, cool, and you have 7 or more cards with Shadow Dragon in your drop, flip this card over. Here, one interesting thing that we note here is that this card does not draw on Awaken. I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it, maybe because it draws so early. I don't know, I think maybe it could draw upon Awaken, but whatever, or maybe it should have. It obviously can't because it's not written on there. But anyway, let's look at the Omega Shenron once we flip at 20 at 6 life with 7 in drop of Shadow Dragon. Another one looks really cool, really great alt. I don't know, honestly, my one complaint is maybe I would have got a little bit more blue in there, but whatever, that's just me. That's why I really like the front side, lots of blue there, whereas the back doesn't, but whatever. Permanent, your turn. It's a 20k attacker, first off. When you would pay the cost of an extra with Shadow Dragon and special traits from your hand, once per turn, you may place the same number of cards with Shadow Dragon in their special traits as that card's cost from your drop to the bottom of your deck in a random order instead. So that is pretty crazy, the fact that we can just play out an extra and really anytime. It's permanent your turn, so it's as many times as you want. You can play those extras and put from drop to bottom of deck, so pretty cool there. And then the when attacking, just draw a card. So pretty cool leader, nice concept. I think it's nice for blue to continue to get some different stuff in there. I'm hoping that this Shenron is able to revive blue as a color. I mean, honestly, Kid Ku is starting to gain a little bit of traction. I think people are starting to learn like what to play and what not in it. But it's still nowhere near meta. We haven't seen any real big topping from blue ever since Satan City died, right? All right, so let's move on. So then we've got the Sin Shenron 5 cost. This is really nice. It's 30k attack, 10k combo for a 5 cost is pretty good. Place the top 2 cards of your deck into your owner's drop on play, and then activate main. Place 7 cards with Shadow Dragon from your drop at the bottom of your deck. Return this card from the battle area to your hand, and then you can play up to 1 Omega Shenron from your hand. So pretty cool there. You can attack with this guy, return to hand, and get a 10k combo in hand, or just play him out again, and then play an Omega Shenron. So we've got potentially, not quite the same, but we've got a potential kind of cell loop there, right? And we'll get to that Omega Shenron when we get to him. I believe that one's one of our SRs, which we'll get to last. Then we've got Rage Shenron, 10k across the board, but a 3 cost. Not sure how I feel about this one. Place top 2 cards of your deck in your drop. Activate main, place this card into its drop. If your leader has Shadow Dragons, play a Rage Shenron with 4 from your drop. So, I mean, that's nice. You could play him. I think it's just like make sure you don't attack, because then this one's a good card here. 5k combo, 30k attack as a 4 cost, and it's crit. So not a bad card. I think when I'm looking at the rest of this deck, I still think it's, I don't know, it's a decent one. I'm not sure if it fits in or not, but you know, you be the judge. I haven't built a proxy of this deck at all, or any others yet. So anyway, then we've got Ice Shenron. If your leader has Shadow Dragon, place the top 2 cards in your drop. Then choose a battle card with 2 or less and place it at the bottom of your owner's deck. not bad. I mean, it's a 10k, 20k, 3 cost. Solid card. Will it fit in the deck? To be determined. Naturon Shenron. On play, draw a card, discard. Always solid, especially in a deck like this. It is 2 cost. Place this card into its owner's drop. And then if your leader Shadow Shenron, if your leader has Shadow Dragon its traits, you could play Naturon Shenron from your drop of 3. And here that one is. So this one, I don't know, another kind of solid-ish card, 20k, 10k, and you, if you have 7 or more cards in your drop, draw a card. So solid, I guess. I don't know. Hey Shenron. On play, if your leader has Shadow Dragon and special traits, add 1 card from life to hand, then look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. You could basically take a Shadow Dragon and put the rest in drop, so the other card or both. Oceanus Shenron, 2 cost, 5k, 5k. On play, choose a battle card with 1 or less in bottom deck it. Cool. Activate main, place this card into the drop. If your leader has Shadow Dragons, play an Oceanus Shenron with a cost of 3 from your drop. So then you get this one. This one is another interesting card that's, I don't know, I'm on the fence about. 20k, 10k, 3. Cool. Blocker. Cool. On play, place 2 cards of your top deck into your drop. Then this card can't attack for the turn. So that's where it gets kind of odd. Again, like, I'm just not anything like 3 or less as a blocker. I'm just usually not a huge fan of. Like, if we had a way to protect it and make him not able to get rid of, cool. But, I mean, this is literally just a blocker, at least for the turn when you play it out, because it can't attack. If I had the option to attack, maybe a little bit cooler. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. All right, now we're getting into the big dog stuff here. We've got the Sin Shenron super combo. They really did a good job with these super combos overall. I don't think there's one that I don't like. This one is a really cool one too. I do like, you know, it's mostly blue, but then we've got that red to just kind of pop and get this guy to pop out there. So really cool. I like it. I like it. Okay. Then we've got Nova Shenron. This one is the alt of it. And I mean, if you saw my Frieza, I mean, my yellow preview, I talked about how I wasn't a huge fan of the Frieza card itself, you know, and here's our first other one that you're going to see. I mean, just look at it. Just a really pretty card with the blue bordering. We're like mid-battle with them both about to blast each other. I think just a pretty card. I'd like to get 1 copy of each of these. So of each of these, what do you call them? Cinematic rare or something like that. Cinematic alt. So a solid card. 20k. 10k, 3 cost. If your leader has Shadow Dragon, place the top 2 cards into your drop. Then choose a battle card with 4 or less and return it to its owner's hand. That's pretty good. You know, once I'm getting up into the 4s, sometimes I'm willing to return to owner's hand. So this card is one that may see play. I like returning 4 costs sometimes, depending on. Alright, so let's move on. Then we've got the SRs, and oh baby, look at this. This is an alt. Bandai really did well, and the crazy thing, I'm not even showing the non-alts. A lot of the non-alt SRs like are better than some of the alt SRs I've seen in the past. They really upped their game with this set, and I hope it like attracts at least like some collectors or something. Like, obviously I want people to play the game. But when it comes down to it, like, we really need, like, in order to move this game forward and get Bandai to continue to do cool stuff, like, they just got to sell, you know, they just got to sell. So, Black Smoke Shenron, this one is an interesting one. 1 cost, 0k, 5k SR. So it kind of brings to memories of the SR Android 18, which was a card initially I thought was stupid. And then I thought, okay, this is actually a really good card. This one, still on the fence a little bit about. It's a blocker. I mean, a 5k 1 cost blocker. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, I guess. But when you really think about it, and the fact that you can awaken as soon as turn, you know, you could awaken turn 2 maybe. I don't know if you could get 7 in there. I don't know. But anyway, the fact that you can awaken so early means you may want a little bit more defense in this deck. So if your leader has Shadow Dragon, look at 3 cards from top deck, reveal a non-black Smoke Dragon. So that kind of puts a damper on it with 5 or less, and put it in your hand, and then place the rest in your drop. So that really does kind of help. So let's say turn 1, you're gonna look at top 3, and then you put 2 of those in drop. Turn 2, you could play 2 of these bad boys in theory. That gets you 6. So you can almost just combo a card up and awaken if you really want to. I don't know. Do you need to that early? Maybe not. But anyway, then we've got another Nuova Shenron. This one is the SR of it. Another really cool looking card, right? 4 costs 25k, 5k. When KO'd, choose 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area with 4 or less and place it at the bottom of their deck. Like, what? Like, that's really good. Because, no, and I'll talk about, let's get the activate main once per turn. Place the top 4 cards of your deck into your drop. Switch this card to active mode. So what does that mean? This is a double attacker, 25k. So your opponent's going to want to KO this guy, right? They can either KO it and have you get rid of one of their 4 costs, or they can just let you keep attacking them twice per turn. I mean, obviously, if some decks are going to go, straight to the 5s, but being able to just bottom deck a 4 cost upon KO is really good in my opinion. And think about this too. This is not a leader locked card. So this one, I'm even thinking, like, could this see play in Vegito? Because the top milling 4 cards is kind of a lot, especially if you're going to be using this turn after turn. Vegito's probably the one that can hang with this, the only one. And having a dual attacker in Vegito to put some pressure is pretty good. I mean, I'm thinking about, the 4 costs I'm running are going to be that 4 cost Vegito and the Gohan. I don't know. I mean, is this quite worth getting rid of your Gohan for? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Think about it. And then here's the Omega Shenron that I talked about earlier with the Sin Shenron, being able to place that and drop to play this out. This card is good. And another one I would consider for Vegito, but probably not, because of the permanent. If you have 7 or more cards in drop, he can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. So this one, basically, like, your opponent's gonna have to KO it with Vegito because you're always at 10 or more. I don't know, maybe even Gohan, which is getting some support. But I mean, the on play isn't going to work in Vegito unless you want to throw in a bunch of Shadow Dragons. But look at 7 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal any number of extras with Shadow Dragon. Place the rest into its owner's drop. That kind of puts a little bit of a damper. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, you have to do that. I don't know, puts a little bit of a damper. I think there's a world where you could play, you could kind of put a Shadow Dragon package into Vegito. And there is. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know. All right, let's get into the extras and stuff. All right, here we go. We've got Whirlwind Spin as the first extra. Permanent opponent's turn. When you would pay the cost of this card, you may discard 1 card with Shadow Dragon other than this card from your hand instead. So pretty good. Whirlwind Spin, activate battle. Your cards that are in battle get 20k power. Then choose all battle cards with 1 or less and bottom deck it. Like, not bad. You can discard a card to play it for free, or you can just pay 2 to play it. I don't know. You'd have to be a little bit careful to do that, but it's a pretty good card. I think it works better in Shenron than anything else, but if you're gonna run like a Shadow Dragon package and just throw enough cards in there with Shadow Dragon into your other decks, it could work. I'm really gonna try to think about, like, how can I build a Vegito with this, so that's gonna be my task. Now here's a fun one here. 3 costs, activate main, draw 2 cards, then your opponent can't activate blocker for the turn. Like, that is pretty good. This one works really well in Shenron, I think, because you can just throw 3 out there. It's a little bit more pricey to use in other decks, but I could still see it having some play depending on what deck it is, because we are seeing blockers get a little bit more prominent, maybe more prominent like if Frieza sees play, but obviously with like the Bobbity, like this could just counter Bobbity, the Bobbity Boo decks with the Bobbity blockers, I mean, and using this just kind of ends things with them being able to use that 30k blocker that's going to rest all your energy. That's pretty good. If you've got a decent field out there, it could be worth paying 3 to do, and you're also drawing 2. So I like this card. I'll be interested to see if it sees play and how to get it to see play. Then we've got Burst Attack. Activate main. During this turn, when your card with Shadow Dragon attacks, basically place the attack card at the bottom of the owner's deck. Now, I think there's still some debate on this. I think the ruling so far has been that it only works once. But there's some debate on if it's every single card with Shadow Dragon. Honestly, the way it reads, it should be like the whole turn. During this turn, when your card, it doesn't say the next time your card. It says when your card with Shadow Dragon attacks. I think what would have cleared it up is if it said any during this turn when any card with Shadow Dragon attacks, place at the bottom. But it's really interesting. I'm gonna be I'll be waiting to see what the official, if there isn't one yet. Maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen anything. I think the official so far has been like one time. But anyway, minus energy ball. Choose up to 1 Omega Shenron and switch it to active mode. Then if you have 7 more cards in your drop, card chosen by this skill gains double strike and 20k power, so not bad. This is kind of an end game card where you do need 7 in there, right? Plus you will probably want to just put 7 bottom deck 7 from drop, so you don't have to pay 7. But pretty interesting. I like this card definitely in Shenron, obviously, but you know, we'll see. All right, let's move on to our legacy support first with our extra. Great, I'm in time. All right, place the top 3 cards of your deck into your owner's drop. Draw a card. Then play up to 2 battle cards with different card names, Saiyan in their special traits, and a total cost of 6 or less from your drop. Very interesting card there. In some ways, you could just play like a Goku Black, or you can play 2 cards like a 4-cost Goku and a 2-cost, 2-3 cost, whatever you want to do. You could play a 5-cost double strike and a cantrip to draw a card. It's pretty cool. I mean, as a 7-cost, you're probably not playing this in anything but Gohan, because Gohan's skill is playing out extras. So it's a pretty good card for him. Does it make him viable? I don't know. He does get a couple other support cards, so let's talk about those in terms of the battles. We have another Gohan Adolescence. Permanent your turn. If you have 10 or more cards in drop, this card gets 10k power. So that's cool, I guess. He's a 35k at 4 cost. When attacking, if your leader is Gohan, add up to 1 Gotenks or Piccolo with 4 or less from your drop to your hand. Not bad. I mean, will it help us to see more 4-cost Gotenks play? Maybe. I'm trying to think of a good 4-cost Piccolo, and I can't. I know that there's a couple Piccolos out there in blue that are decent. And of course, you can always get other cards. You've got the 3-cost Old Tanks that is a card I really personally like. So you've got some options there. And it's when attacking too, so if you could keep him alive, which it's unfortunate the 35k will only be on your turn, but you know, you could defend him if you want. Then speaking of which, we've got a Gotenks. All right, on play, add 1 card from your life to your hand. This is a 2-cost 15k 10k combo, right? For 1 energy, place this card in a battle area. If your leader is Gohan, play up to 1 Gotenks with a cost of 4 from your hand. So another thing that is trying to help you get a that 4-cost Gotenks and make him more valuable, because it's really a shame that Gotenks doesn't see play. It's just overshadowed by the 4-cost Gohan. I've always really liked that card. I like the alt, and I really like the anniversary alt too. So this one could see it. I really wish, like, Why did they have to leader lock it? Like, come on. Like, why not just let you? Because this would have done really well in my Vegito deck as well. So it's super sad that, you know, we had to see this. It's a 10k combo too, which is nice. Yeah, it really sucks, you know. Why not just let Vegito play this card too? But it is what it is. Alright, then we've got Trunks Future. So we've got Trunks support. What? To me, this card, this is a little too late. I think Trunks needs a lot more than just one card to make him viable, but there's a lot of people who really like Trunks out there. So cool. So 25k, 3k, 5k combo, pretty solid, right? On play up to one card with a cost of 1 or less from your hand, so that's pretty good. It's actually really good, because you could play out Mai and reduce Bai, because the one attacking, if your leader is Trunks, choose all battle cards and reduce their cost by 2 for the turn. Then choose one battle card with 1 or less and return it to its owner's hand. So the Mai can kind of help you, like, basically you can reduce a 4 cost all the way down to a 1 cost, right? If you play out Mai with him. And then you can hopefully get some other cards down. You can return to hand and then use Trunks leader skill. So it is good. Again, I don't think it does enough to make him viable, but who knows? It's definitely worth playing. Okay, now the last one is my favorite legacy support as a Vegito stan. Cool. Okay, add up to 1 card from your left to your hand, then place the top 3 cards of your deck into their owner's drop. So really cool. I mean, this one, I don't know, like, will it replace my 2-cost Vegito I'm playing? I did add, for Pilafs, I added Cantrip, so maybe this one replaces my, I'm running like a ton of Cantrips in my Vegito deck. It's definitely just good on its own with that, but then we have Activate Main for 1. Place this card in a battle or into its drop. If your leader is Vegito, play a Vegito with a cost of 4 from your drop. So that's pretty good. It can kind of help you loop. So now you can play the 4-cost Vegito. The ideal game state would be to play this guy, let him stick for a turn, and then you can get that 6-cost Vegito out really easy, because now you don't have to leave that 4-cost out there who has kind of lower attack. And then you can just play him. It's still risky because the 3-cost is even easier to get rid of than a 4. But if you want to just loop-de-loop, you can do so for the same cost and at least get a free card in. You get a free attack in for the same cost it would have to play out that 6-cost Vegito as was. So this card definitely is pretty cool. I like it. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Hope you enjoyed this episode previewing our new FBO 7 Wish For Shenron cards. Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, I think is going to be a pretty fun leader. I think it's got some value to it. I'm hoping that some of these leaders see play over the Cell Boo chaos we've seen with me just fighting for my life out here playing Green Vegeta as much as possible. But I think they've got some legs. I think these leaders have some potential. So if you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button and become part of the Hawks Nest. We're a fabulous flock of fearless folks who love to do what we love. And let's help me hit that 200 sub goal. Maybe I'll have hit it by the time this video comes out. If so, thank you. If not, please make sure that you continue to share this video with your friends who are Dragon Ball fans everywhere, and let's grow this scene. But until then, we'll see you next time.